Peace, family, peace. I hope all is well. Hope your morning is going well. Hope your afternoon is going well. Wherever you are at on this planet, in this world, I hope you're just having a great day. I hope you're having a great day, everyone. I love you all. Hope you're having an awesome day. Hope you had a productive week. It's already Thursday. But what's interesting, when you work for yourself, when you're an entrepreneur, it's like every day is like there's no Monday through Friday, like I work on weekends. Like I said, I work on weekends. Like there's no Monday through Friday, have weekends off. There's no off weekends for me barely. Like I take a Saturday off and I'll chill and hang out, have a light day on Saturday. But for the most part, we out here. Like Wale said, no days off. Like the rapper Wale said, no days off. No days off. So I hope all is well. You guys are had a great week. If you work 9 to 5, or even if you don't work 9 to 5, but let me back up. Even if you work 9 to 5, hopefully on your free time, during your free time, your downtime, on the weekends, you are reinvesting whatever you earn from your 9 to 5 into your passion that can set you free from your 9 to 5. Tours coming up. We got one more spot, y'all. We have one more spot. Sierra Leone. And let me say this. Any of my Sierra Leonean people who are coming with me to Sierra Leone in next month. In fact, we leave a month from today. We're leaving April 17th. So any of my people who are watching this and who are if you're coming with me or watching this, I want to thank you. I want to personally thank you for employing Donfo, employing uh, Donfo to take you to Sierra Leone. So again, I want to once again I want to thank you all. If you're watching this, I just want to thank you. And even if you travel with me in the past, I want to go ahead and thank you for traveling and using Donfo. Picture in picture layout, press shift 7. Okay, I think I learned something new today. Hold on. Picture in picture layout. Oh, it's already on there. Hold on, I'm tripping. Okay, I got excited about nothing. Sorry about that. But even if you travel with me in the past, okay, I want to thank you. I want to thank you all for the support. It means a lot as we grow. So go to donfo.africa, learn more about what we are doing, learn more about the tours, and come and travel with us. Consider us whenever you're thinking or if you're considering traveling to Africa. It'll be a blessing to for you to consider and enroll and use us and utilize our services in Africa. So again, go to donfo.africa, send me a message, join the email list, all that good stuff. We're gonna have a good time in Sierra Leone. Again, we are going to have a excellent time, a great time in Sierra Leone. So please, 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 please consider us when you're, considering Africa travel. So, like I said, we have one more spot left. One more spot left for the citizenship tour. So, again, if you have African ancestry DNA, which links you back to Sierra Leone, to one of the tribes of Sierra Leone, if you have your Africa ancestry um, DNA results that link you back to Sierra Leone, come enroll with us. You're eligible for citizenship. So again, we got one more spot left. We're leaving April 17th. Donfo is the local transportation in that they use, the public transportation, the local transportation that's used in Nigeria, in Lagos for the most part, or in Nigeria. So I mean, it's just I've written the Donfo several times, and it's just it's the and every I would say every African country has their own form of like the local transportation bus, and it just the culture. It just represents the culture, the people, the vibe. I love it. So I was like, you know what? Let me name my company Donfo. So that's what Donfo is. It's the local transportation, the local bus, public transportation bus that takes you around Nigeria or Lagos. So hence the logo. I mean the logo. Sorry, I said the logo. Hence the logo is the Donfo. This right here. That's the logo. So Donfo. You got the bus. So hopefully you guys can see the DANFO right there. So that's it, you guys. That's it. We'll open up the chat room. I'll put the link in the website here shortly, and you guys are more than welcome to call in. All right, let's jump right into the topics, everyone. We won't be here for long. I wanted to pre-record this, but sometimes it's just more convenient to come on live. Again, sometimes it's just more convenient to come on live. So that's why I said let me just stream. Let me just go ahead and do a live stream. But guys, do me a favor. All right. I shouldn't have to even ask. Shout out to Janelle Jones. Janelle is rolling with us to Nigeria. Shout out to Janelle. Janelle, thank you for the support. She's rolling with us to Nigeria. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support. But we're gonna jump into the topics today. Like I was saying, I wanted to pre-record this, but sometimes it's just more convenient to just live stream. So, I was like, let me just go ahead and go live. But guys, do me a favor, hit the like button. All right. I shouldn't even have to ask, but please do me a favor, do me a solid, as they say. Hit that like button for me. Okay. I greatly appreciate it, how it helps with the algorithm. So again, please do me a favor and hit the like button. I greatly appreciate it. So do that for me. And we're rolling to Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival. So if you're interested in rolling to the Oshun Festival in August, please hit me up. Go to donfo.africa, donfo.africa. We got about 7 spots left for the Nigeria tour. Again, donfo dot Africa. Again, we got the Oshun Festival tour coming up in August. So we're going to have a great time in Oshun for the Oshun Oshogbo Festival. So go to donfo.africa to learn more. All right, your boy Hushpuppi's in the news. Now, let me give a disclaimer and preface it. There's been conflicting reports. All right, again, there's been conflicting reports. All right, some people say he's at it again behind prison, in prison, behind his cell. Some people are saying he's at it again. Some people said that it's not true. All right, so Hushpuppi still committing internet fraud inside prison, stole $429,000, $429,800. Prosecutors says U.S. prosecutors. Security officers at the correctional facility observed that Mr. Abbas had gone beyond allowed internet use. Fresh charges have been slammed on a famous internet fraudster, Raymond Hushpuppi Abbas, by United States prosecutors, accusing him of committing fraud and laundering over $400,000 while in prison. On Wednesday, U.S. prosecutors presented documents before the U.S. District Court of California with fresh. I thought he was locked up in Chicago. Okay. Of California with fresh evidence indicating Mr. Abbas committed fraud and money laundering at the U.S. Federal Correctional Facility. And see, that's why people. That's why there's conflicting reports, and a lot of people are saying this isn't true because And guys, I don't know anything about prosecuting people and how the legal process works at the federal level, but he's in prison in Chicago, from my understanding. So why would they go to California? But again, I don't know. I'm not an expert. That's not my lane. The document said Mr. Abbas was involved in the purchase and laundering of economic impact payment debit cards obtained from stolen data of U.S. citizens and residents. According to prosecutors, inmates are allowed access to phone calls, video calls, and internet exempt from being monitored to protect their rights to privacy. However, between January 28th and March 4th, security officers at the correctional facility observed that Mr. Abbas had gone beyond the allowed internet use. In light of the internet-based crimes Mr. Abbas was tried for, a warrant to record his activities was obtained, and his activities were recorded for a week. It was found that Mr. Abbas had purchased 58 EIP economic impact. I know it stands EIP stands for economic impact payment. There we go. Sorry, payment debit cards. PCP stands for payment debit cards from an underground cyber criminal marketplace stimulus card worth $429,800. The economic impact payments are financial support offered by the U.S. government to U.S. residents according to the CARES Act. Mr. Abbas, whose sentencing was postponed to July, pleaded guilty to multi-million-dollar fraud charges as part of a plea bargain he entered with the U.S. authorities. The 37-year-old had been arrested in Dubai in June 2020 and extradited to the U.S., where he has been facing charges of corruption in Central California. Okay. So he's in Central California now. I thought he was in Chicago for some reason. Yeah, for some reason I thought he was in Chicago. Yeah. So let me so again, to add balance to the conversation, because if our brother didn't do it, he didn't do it. If he's wrongfully accused, he's wrongfully accused. There was another article. Let me go back. That said that this was false. But anyways, guys, the Hushpuppi doesn't need to touch a cell phone while in prison. He should. Yeah, just leave leave a cell phone. Leave the cell phones alone. Stay off the internet, Hushpuppi. You got to stay off the internet, brother, because you just don't want them to add fuel to the fire. So for right now, I would recommend someone monitoring Hushpuppi's internet usage, and it's just as much as possible staying off the internet. Maybe just to check some emails, but yeah, take away his phone, because you don't want to get any more trouble, Hushpuppi. So here we go. All right, so this is from the BBC. This right here is from the BBC. This next article right here. Hold on one second. Hushpuppi latest news. U.S. Justice Department dismissed Hushpuppi $400,000, not just $400. $400 fraud and prison Tory. Okay, this is in Pigeon. All right, so guys, listen. We're gonna read this in Pigeon. Don't judge me. U.S. Department of Justice dismissed the report on Thursday when them react to the vow Tory. Tory Bende circulate for local media say the Instagram celebrity being received fresh charges. Director of Media Relations, United States Attorney's Office, Central District of California, Ms. Mirozek Thone, tell BBC Pigeon, say the Tory no they true. But the vow Tory been claimed say U.S. prosecutors on Wednesday, 16th March 2022 submit court documents where show where I'm committed fraud and launder over $400K from behind bars. How Hushpuppi tried tiff $124 million from Premier League club FBI. Okay, that's another article. After we don't look the document, Way Day inside the recent media accounts, the U.S. Attorney Office for Los Angeles, Way filed the case against Mr. Abbas. No filed any such document. We don't check with the FBI agent where he supposedly authored the document, and I'm confirmed, say not fake. Now waiting, U.S. Department of Justice talk. The Nigerian Instagram celebrity that U.S. to face charges on top accused say I am conspired to launder hundreds of millions of dollars from business email. The charges compromise frauds and ODA scams, where include plans where targets one U.S. law firm, one foreign bank, and one English Premier League soccer club. Hushpuppi go get the court sentencing for these charges on July 11, 2022. The social media influencer donated detention for almost 2 years now. All right, so if you guys don't know who Hushpuppi is, you go research him. But he committed a lot of fraud, a whole lot of fraud, you guys, a lot of fraud. All right, let's get into our boy Colin Kaepernick. Oh God, the guy that said that the NFL is slavery, but now he's trying to get back into the league to be a slave. These new age neo civil rights activists are just one big joke. Just one big joke. I don't understand how anybody takes any of these new age neo activists serious. Because I thought the NFL was slavery. I thought it was slavery. I'm confused. I thought the NFL was $1 million slave. So why do you want to go back and be a slave? Can somebody please make it make sense? Hold on, let me see if I can find a video when Colin Kaepernick says NFL is slavery. I thought it was slavery. Oh, here we go. I can't, I can't take this serious. Life puts us on a path, sometimes narrow. Well, let me go to this one. Hold on, guys. We're gonna look at this. His Take a Knee protest rocked the. I thought it was slavery. So why do you want to go back and be $1 million slave? That's what I don't understand, you guys. Somebody make it make sense. Somebody make it make sense. Why do you want to go and be a slave?
NFL, and now Colin Kaepernick's causing controversy with his new Netflix series in which he compares the way the NFL scouts for players to the slave trade. Here's Les Trent.
Colin Kaepernick is at the center of a new controversy over this scene from his new Netflix series, Colin in Black and White. Actors playing prospective NFL players who dramatically turn into slaves headed to the auction block. Yep, the former NFL player compares the league's draft process to the slave auction block. The NFL scouting combine happens every February. Prospects for the NFL draft attend a week of skill and endurance tests. At one stage, all players are weighed and measured wearing only shorts.
Before they put you on the field, teams poke, prod, and examine you, searching for any defect that might affect your performance. No boundary respect.
Does anybody take this afro and this is all Black Panther? Does anybody take this serious? And see, I blame Ava DuVernay, whatever her name is, for giving guys like this a platform. So he tells you that the NFL is slavery. Now he's trying to get back in the NFL. Ava DuVernay also she directed that documentary, the 14th. Was it called the 14th, about the 14th Amendment, about the crime bill, the 94 crime bill? Was that what it was called? It was crying about how The 94 crime bill is an example of institutional racism. Then when Joe Biden wins the primary and he's the Democratic nominee to become president, and, Joe Biden orchestrated the 94 crime bill. She tells you guys, listen, let that documentary go. We got to vote for Biden. See, these are the people they put in front of you that they want to influence you. These are your so-called leaders that they put in front of you. This guy. And don't get me wrong, guys. I supported Colin Kaepernick when he first started kneeling. But then after that, when he refused, he had offers. He could have played in the NFL and he refused. Colin Kaepernick could have played, but he refused. Instead, 13th Amendment. I'm sorry, I said the 14th. I'm sorry, the 13th Amendment. But it was called the 13th, right? About the 94 crime bill? The 13th Amendment. And that's what it was called, the 13th Amendment. The 13th was the name of the documentary. So Ava DuVernay puts out this documentary called The 13th. Folks crying how the 94 crime bill broke up the black family. The 94 crime bill took black men off the street over a nickel bag of weed. The 94 Puppi went into a liquor store, stole some apple juice, and now it's his third strike. Now he got to do 25 to life. That's not fair. White folks snort cocaine. Black folks smoke crack rock. Why is the black man getting longer sentences for smoking crack, and the white man who snorts cocaine walks for free? The 94 crime bill, look what it did to the black community. The 94 crime bill was an example of institutional racism. Racism. The 94 crime bill. Racism. Not racism. Racism. Orchestrated and written by your boy Joe Biden. Disproportionately gave black men higher sentences than their white counterparts because it was racism. Then all of a sudden, guys, Joe Biden wins the Democratic nomination for president. Guys, we got to let this 94 crime bill go. We got to let it go. Well, hold on. I thought the 94 crime bill was an example of racism. Institutional racism, and an example of how the white man, Joe Biden, had his foot on our neck. And it was just amazing. The way black people were crying how it was institutional racism, the 94 crime bill, all of a sudden now, because Biden is running for office, we gotta let that go. We gotta let it go. We gotta move on because we gotta get rid of the orange man. Because the orange man, it has enabled the Proud Boys. Because the orange man is sitting in a lab somewhere cooking up super Nazi / KKK / Proud Boy. He's going to unleash on the black community. So therefore, we got to let this 94 crime bill go, and we got to elect Joe Biden. This was the logic. This was, guys, you think I'm exaggerating. This was the logic. This was the logic. So now you got Colin Kaepernick. Ava DuVernay, does his documentary with Colin Kaepernick. How, the NFL is slavery. Now he wants to go back and be a slave. Guys, you can't make this up. You see what's going on with Black Lives Matter. I'm telling you, these activists, new age activists are an embarrassment. And there's a reason why, the media puts these neo activists, let's be honest, is a reason why these white liberals put these neo activists in front of us. There's an agenda. There's definitely an agenda. Okay, let's continue watching. I mean, Afro, he's walking around black leather Wilson's jacket. Ain't nobody wearing no Wilson's leather jackets no more. Ain't nobody rocking no afros like this no more. They've made Colin Kaepernick the faux Huey P. Newton. He is the faux Huey P. Newton. That's what Colin Kaepernick is. They replaced Huey P. Newton of the Black Panther Party with this faux Huey P. Newton. NFL is slavery, but he wants to get back into the NFL. You can't make this up, guys. You can't make this up.
Respected. No dignity left intact.
Look at this here. Come on. The scene cuts back and forth between slave owners and coaches.
I can't watch it. I can't watch it no more. I can't watch it. I mean, you guys should be pissed off. Those who are descendants of slaves, FBA, ADOS, whatever you want to call yourself, you should be pissed off that what our ancestors endured is being minimalized, right, and reduced to stuff like this, where black men have an opportunity to make millions of dollars to change their lives. I can't watch anymore. And there were literally people who were celebrating this documentary. I mean, you should be pissed off how they've just made a mockery of what our ancestors endured. They just made a mockery. I mean,
on Fox News, a former NFL player slammed Kaepernick.
A process of someone living their dream, going to the National Football
Left intact.
Look at this here. Come on, who wants this? The scene cuts back and forth between.
I mean, they made a mockery of what our ancestors endured. They've minimalized what we went through. So you want to compare what our ancestors went through to an NFL player, prospective NFL player who's going to get paid millions of dollars to do what he loves to do. Because our ancestors, per you, loved to do what they loved to pick cotton. They loved it. They loved to get whipped. They loved to see their women raped by their slave masters. They loved to see their families separated. Per you, that's what you're saying. These dudes are clowns. Clowns. And these are the leaders they put in front of us. I can't do it. So that's what they put in front of us. Colin Kaepernick. In the words of College Genesis, deadly clown. But hold on, something just I read something here. Hold on, here we go. Here we go. Let me share this real quick. Hey, listen, in the words of College Genesis, deadly clowns. All right, here we go. By successfully shunning Colin Kaepernick for 5 years, the NFL, he shoved himself. He had the opportunity to go back and play. He refused. By successfully shunning Colin Kaepernick for 5 years, the NFL has made it much easier to continue shunning him now. The fact became obvious on Wednesday with the comments made by Seahawks coach Pete Carroll as to the possibility of adding Kaepernick to a depth chart currently led by up and down 3-year veteran Drew Lock. Carroll could bring Kaepernick in for a workout at any time. Any team could. No team ever has in 5 years. The Seahawks brought Kaepernick in for a visit in 2017. Some believe that the Seahawks didn't pursue Kaepernick due to the possibility that the locker room would eventually become divided between Kaepernick and Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was just traded to the Broncos. Now that Wilson is gone, why not take a look at Kaepernick? If the Seahawks won't even give him a workout, it's obvious that no one will sign him. Not now, not after 5 years. Dude, he's done. He's done. It's slavery. Why go and be a slave? Let it go. He's done. He's done. I don't understand. I'm trying to figure out how this guy was able to stay relevant for this amount of time. Once everybody saw through the BS, he still stayed relevant. Nah, it's done. He's done. He's done. Listen, if you guys want to add to the conversation, I'm about to put the link in the chat room. You are more than welcome to call in. Who's this calling me? You are more, like, I just don't get it, man. It's over. Guys, link is in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. If you'd like to call in, link is in the chat room. You're more than welcome to call in. Hey, listen, stop this South African Nigeria war that's going on in the chat room, guys. Stop it. Let's just stop it. Nah, listen, Kaepernick got the bag. He got to the money. He got to the money. He got to the money. Yeah, but stop the Nigerian-South Africa war that's going on in the chat room, guys. Please stop it. He got to the bag. Oh, here go Two Niger. Two Niger. I swear, you just want to Two Niger, stop it. No, Two Niger. These guys are millionaires, okay? They're not being forced to try out. All right, they could easily start their own league, but they refuse to. Kanye West is right. Slavery is a choice. It's a choice. Kanye West is right. Slavery is a choice. Hold on. Lozy, now I completely disagree with Lozy. Listen, I'm not joining this South Africa Nigeria war that's going on in the chat room, but that's a lie. I can tell you that right now. The majority of black millionaires on the planet are in Nigeria. I can tell you that for a fact right now, even more than Black America. If you understood the amount of money, all right, that's in Nigeria, that's off the books, number one, but that's just in Nigeria, period. Listen, you're tripping, Lozy. Lozy, you're tripping. All right, there is money in Nigeria. Trust me, the majority of black millionaires on this planet is in Nigeria, even more than Black America. I'll put that on everything. I'm just saying. There is money in Nigeria. You have no idea the amount of wealth that's in Nigeria. Yeah, there's some poverty. There's some issues. Again, we're saying it's not perfect, Never said that. Never said that. But like, that's a silly argument. There's more black millionaires in South Africa than Nigeria. That's just, yeah. I was gonna stay out of this. I was gonna stay out of this crossfire, but that's just not true. That's not true. That's not true. Guys, links in the chat room. We'll wait a couple more minutes. If you'd like to call in. No, Lozy. Listen, Lozy. Okay, Lozy, listen. Hear me out, Lozy. There's so much money in Nigeria. A lot of it, the majority of it is off the books. Trust me. When I say there are more, I can say with confidence, there are more millionaires in Nigeria than in Black America. With confidence, I can say that. With confidence, I could say that. Like that's not, yeah. But guys, links in the chat room. You are more than welcome to call in. Let me stop the screen. There we go. Links in the chat room. You're more than welcome to call in. Click on the link. No one wants to call in. We'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and close out. If no one's gonna call in, we'll go ahead. Thank you, Shadow Priest. I appreciate it. We all love your shows. I appreciate it. Thank you. Again, I appreciate it. Love you too, Miss Bullard. Thank you. All right, listen, nobody's calling in. We're going to go ahead and close out. Oh, here we go. African Wahala. There we go. My brother. Ekabo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ekaro.
Go ahead, brother.
Yes, sir. How is it going?
Oh, I'm good. All is well.
Yes. What did Hushpuppi do again?
Well, it's conflicting stories. So one story saying he was committing fraud while in prison. Another story saying it's not true. I'm just saying they need to just Hushpuppi needs to just stay off the internet and not talk on the cell phone just to stay out of extra trouble. You need to just
Okay. Let me give you a story. So Hushpuppi was linked to a top police officer. I'm sure you heard about it.
Yeah, in Nigeria, right?
In Nigeria, yeah.
All right,
so the police officer, he goes by the name Kyari. Kyari was supposed to be extradited to the United States because
then all of a sudden they said he's okay out of the blue.
Yes.
Right.
Now, you know what makes matters worse? About 3 days ago, the Minister of Justice in Nigeria, the Attorney General of the Federation, he comes out after a bunch of investigations and said the police officer was not fingered in any money laundering cases, because this same police officer was the head of a SARS unit responsible for fighting against violent crimes, kidnappings, and stuff like that. This same police officer was accused of being an associate of Hushpuppi, which made him allegedly had committed money laundering and fraud, yahoo. This same police officer was also videotaped. There was a videotape evidence of him selling cocaine, seized cocaine. Yeah, this was caught on tape. It was on national TV, daily news, and everywhere. Seized cocaine from drug barons, sold it to someone for a couple of thousands of dollars, all captured on tape. So he was remanded in prison for about 3 or 4 different charges. And then magically, 2 days ago, when he was remanded in prison, a lot of people came out speculating that, no, this is just a way to prevent the police officer from being extradited to the United States. Because people are like, if this guy remains in Nigeria, he's not going to go to jail and he will escape paying for the crimes that he committed. But if he goes to the United States of America, he's probably going to end up in prison, even though American prisons are like hotels compared to Nigerian jails, right?
Yeah, because I was going to say compared to Nigerian jails.
Yeah, compared to Nigerian. Yeah. I know it's hell in many prisons out in the US, but compared to Nigerian jails, it's like 5-star hotels. So people are like, we would rather this guy go to a 5-star hotel American prison than continue walking around as a free man in Nigeria. And just so you know, when this guy's video evidence came out of selling cocaine to someone, he had already been suspended as a police officer pending investigations. But while he was suspended, somehow, some way, this guy is still arresting people. This guy is still seizing drugs from drug barons and selling it to people. A complete mess. So a couple of days ago, the Minister of Justice comes out and says there was no allegations of money laundering associated with Abba Kyari. And people are like, bro, are you just trying to find an excuse not to have this man extradited? So yeah, that's the latest on the Nigerian aspect of the Hushpuppi saga with the police officer.
Yeah, that's interesting because I remember I read that they were saying that he's been implicated with Hushpuppi. Then out of the blue, they're like, nah, there's no problems with him.
And then
my thing is why? But why? Okay, so this is the thing. I'm trying to figure out why does Nigeria even have extradition rights with the U.S. Like that's the part I don't understand.
Man, that's a great question, bro. I don't have an answer to that question, but what I can think of is that the guys that have been the administrators of Nigeria since its inception, they've made a lot of, I would say, reckless choices. So much so that even in 2022, for example, the Russian-Ukraine crisis currently going on, Nigeria signed and voted in support of Ukraine. If Nigeria was a sensible country, it should have stayed neutral, like South Africa. Because if you think about it, now that South Africa decided to stay neutral, which can also be explained as a result, as a fact of being an associate of Russia, because South Africa is one of the BRICS countries, BRICS, right? Maybe that's why they took a neutral stance, but it puts South Africa in a position where they can be a mediator for the conflict going on between Russia and Ukraine. But Nigeria, and when South Africa took that neutral stance, Western governments were putting so much pressure on the South African government to, yeah, you guys need to condemn Russia. But bro, it's not our fight, bro. It's you guys' fight. Why should anybody, bro? Russia has its reasons for doing what it's doing. As a matter of fact, it's me personally, I don't like the fact that innocent people are getting killed. It's wrong. Okay, women getting shot at, children having bombs thrown at their kindergartens. It's wrong. However, they had a legitimate reason for being angry. Now, if Nigeria was sensible, it should have taken a neutral position. But because we have a lot of reckless, useless morons that have been in power for so long, they sheepishly follow anybody that pays them money. So that's the situation with that. I think I digressed a little bit, but.
All right, Tunaja, go ahead, Tunaja.
Yeah, Dinas, thanks for having me. This issue of a Hushpuppi doing, fraud in the prison, I guess that one you have to put it on the, doorstep of the American authorities, isn't it? And about this Abba Kyari stuff, as guilty as hell as he is, even if, as they have so many evidence against him, I think that they should try him in Nigeria. I don't understand how Nigerians can, happily want to send their own citizens abroad. It's crazy. I don't know what kind of mentality does that. And they are accusing their leaders of being sellouts. You are selling one of your top officials out that has had access to so many senior officials to sit in the prison of a foreign country. They can extract all kinds of information from him, and you guys are happy to give him up. So that is just this thing one anyway. Obviously, everybody knows that Nigeria is not, there's a lot of issues in the country that doesn't even make sense. About this, Kaepernick stuff, I feel like maybe, you are being a bit too sensitive about these things, Diners. The
Oh
guy,
God, Tunaja. Oh my God,
you are
Tunaja.
being sensitive about it, man. Come on. He's just trying to say that, these guys are using us and we don't have a voice, just like his forefathers never had a voice.
Tunaja. They're millionaires.
True, true.
Millionaires. What do you mean don't have a voice? They're millionaires.
Fair point. I get
Millionaires.
that.
Okay, let me back up. Multi-millionaires. What do you mean they don't have a voice?
But then you saw what they did to him. Now they suspended him now from the team and all that stuff that happened, during that period with his career and all.
He was never. I don't think he was ever suspended. He just didn't want to play.
Oh come on, he was suspended.
No,
They blackballed him.
he was benched. He had the opportunity to come back. He didn't want to play. He didn't want to accept any the deals that were offered. He didn't want them, and he's been doing this so I don't want to call it protesting. I don't know what he's doing. He's begging for attention. 1 minute NFL slavery, next minute he wants to go back and be a slave. You can't make this up.
See, but you see, you have done some things yourself that people could associate with you trying to make a point, and he is just doing his own. And it's just that his own is that he's a millionaire and he has a lot of money. Just because you're a millionaire doesn't necessarily mean you cease to be human. And he felt like he needed to show some kind of support. Maybe, yeah, he's a little bit of grandstanding, but I don't think anybody, a millionaire with all his comforts, wants that kind of attention. I don't think if I was a millionaire, I don't care for that kind of attention. So I think you are being a bit, or you are on the sensitive side on this one. If you ask me, you are being a bit too sensitive about it because he's just doing what
the guy said the NFL is like slavery and used examples of when we were enslaved to compare to these guys who choose to go to the NFL combine and get measured because that's their dreams to play in the NFL, who choose to suit up and put a helmet on and sign $1 million contract. How is that even comparable?
Yeah, it does. You see, I think if he thinks about it again, he probably would think twice. I don't know what he was thinking to do that. It's not very, it's not, it's not good. It's not, it doesn't look good to compare, you are a millionaire doing this about things. But at the same time, he was just trying to highlight the fact that they don't have a voice. They are worth something to the people. Okay, there's a difference here. They are worth something to the people that are using them in the NFL. But the difference between that and the situation of his forefathers is that the forefathers were not given any money. Like he is getting money in his pocket. And I think that's why maybe he shouldn't have done it. But to castigate him the way you are doing, leave it for all the all those sensitive types. You see what I mean? You are not one of those type of people. This is the first time I've had you complain about this type of stuff, really. So that's why I feel like maybe just let him
but
off.
to Niger, bro,
one.
you don't.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. You don't understand how people take this shit too far. Like, so our people watch this when you're young. You see stuff like this, and then you think that it's your job to make these overreaches and say everything's slavery, and you get so caught up in that you don't do anything real. So like on the outside, it may look like he's being overcritical, but our people get caught up in this stuff. So it's important to call it out.
That argument, I agree with it. We don't want to be, in that cycle of remembering this thing every single day. It's not a good idea. But if you bring it up and it gives you it allows doors to be open, there was something Trump said the other day. He said something about, he said he will cry like a baby until he gets what he wants. You see, people don't care. If you, whatever you can use to get what you want, use it. And I think maybe that's what he too, a kind of what he's doing. And we should cut him a bit of slack. If somebody, if somebody is trying to oppress you every day at work and all the rest of it, and calling them racist will get them off your back, would you stop? Will you not do that? If
To
you
Niger.
don't do that,
No,
you
you should call it out.
To Niger. These are multi-millionaires. They can start their own league and separate and collapse the whole league. This
who's
isn't
going to
no,
attend? Who's going to attend the
I'm
league?
gonna tell no, hold on. I'm gonna tell you the difference. So at my job, I'm replaceable, right? So I can complain about racism at my job. You know, they can replace me. All right, and that corporation will continue to go. NFL, NBA, we dominate these leagues. All right, but we continue to complain. We have enough resources and money where we can start our own leagues. That's why it's getting old now.
Well, who is going to attend the league though? If you don't have white people, in league, the majority of the population will not be there, and then you're not going to make money. Is it not about money in the end? So you can't start
there's
your own
risk
league if you're not
involved,
taking
but you could
the
build it up.
majority of the population with you. You have to take majority of the population with you. I just feel like he is protesting and he is trying to get his way. And personally, anybody that wants to get his way, whenever they are, especially our own people that want to get his way, and they, I will say, all grease to your elbow. But I don't like the idea of wallowing in that. That's the part I'm a little bit. And if anybody was advising him, I don't think he would do this again. Really, I don't think he would do it again.
Hey, can I speak on? I wanted to go back to the Abba Kyari because you guys left some stuff out between Abba Kyari and Hushpuppi. The reason Abba Kyari was facing extradition is because Abba Kyari was in the indictment for that Hushpuppi had, that America had against Hushpuppi. They popped up in they had them talking back and forth with Hushpuppi had somebody that was trying to interrupt one of his scams, and then he called Abba Kyari, who obviously through their interaction had a relationship. They were calling each other bro and different stuff like that. He contacted him to arrest the guy and then sent him money to an account controlled by Abba Kyari. So Abba Kyari was a conspirator in one of Hushpuppi's scams. That's why they were going to extradite him. You understand what I mean? He did a crime. He conspired with him against the U.S. or against the jurisdiction they control. So that's why they were doing that.
The U.S. is quite selective about who they want to extradite. You look at the Haitian president that was killed. They know full well that the current prime minister was meeting with a suspect of this in that ordered the assassination.
So tonight, what's going on with that right now? I know Mufasa, you're connected to Haiti too. Like, that's kind of been buried under the rug. Like,
there's clear evidence that the current prime minister of Haiti met with a big suspect they were looking for him during that period. He met him several times, not just once, several times, and the Americans are aware of it. Nobody seems to want to get him out of office because these people conspired to get him killed, including the Haitian security officials. And the people running the country now are basically the ones that got rid of the guy. And most of the people that did this stuff said they did it because they believed that America was behind it. So, and who has been arrested? Nobody really. The prime minister should be the one to be arrested first, but nothing. And they want to go and get Abba Kyari, and some Nigerians are happy to hand him over. This is some of the silly things our people do sometimes. And after all, like I said, this is a woe on all this in black community. Look at what happened in Haiti. That stuff happened. Black people aided them to do it. They opened the gate. They basically opened the gate. Not one security guard had a scratch. This is shameful. That I'm not even sure I've heard of anything like this before. This is really shameful. Then you go to Nigeria again, and there is a drug case involving a scammer or a fraudster, and then you're thinking about extraditing a senior police officer. Can you imagine the UK even thinking about doing that? In the UK here, there was a diplomatic official that killed. She was driving and she killed a UK hit a UK citizen, and he was killed. And the American government just took the lady, to the US. That was it. The UK couldn't do anything about it, and they just settled it in America. That's it. And Nigerians are happy to hand over their own this into a foreign country. These things, we need to think about it, and we need to be more self-aware about some of the things we do to give away our weaknesses. That we exude weaknesses with the way we talk.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. And like I said, I don't think that we should be trying to give these things away, but strategically, when you have a crime problem, I could definitely see leaving that threat available. You know what I mean? Because these people are doing these crimes, and I can see that leaving the threat of extradition like out there. So people have to think about it, because we wouldn't even be able to see these details if it wasn't for American investigations. You go what I mean? We wouldn't have been able to see these details to even see that. So
See,
leaving that threat available may help you with some of your
scams
crimes.
happen everywhere. Look at Malawi. Malawi was scammed with some kind of phishing stuff that the Western people went and claimed that they are invested in phishing. They scammed the country and they left the country with billions of debts. These are the kind of things that happen all the time. In the UK here, there was a scam that happened with this COVID-19 stuff, and the government wrote away $4 billion worth of this in scam. These people scam, and they scam at a high level. What has Hushpuppi got? A few million here and there. What has he got? He hasn't got anything. And this is the pitiful nature of everything that we
He
do. We
has
do it
enough
at
to
a
have
small scale, and we pay a
he
big
has
price for
enough,
it.
but he has enough to have a top official arresting people under his order, and he sent him a little money. He has enough to do that. That's a concern. That's a
Oh,
concern.
it's a
You got people
concern
making illegal money and running your system.
because that, see, my point
Go
is
ahead.
that because we are playing the game of children when there are men, they are playing the game of men all over the world. The money we are talking about here is chicken change. The fact that he can order a Nigerian police officer to do that, a senior officer for that matter, tells you the situation we are facing here. Nigeria, you see, I was having this conversation with someone earlier on. Nigeria has a reputation for being a scammer country. And in terms of, let's say there was a share of scammer, reputation in the world, Nigeria has 70% of it as a scammer. But we get the 70% of the income of scammers? No. We probably get 5% or 2% of this in all the income from scams that goes on around the world. It tells you that there's an imbalance, like everything else. We work hard, we get all the stick for everything else, but we don't get anything out of it. Everything we do, we always seem to end up at the totem pole of everything, and that doesn't seem right to me. I don't think we should be trying to sell our own out for anything at this stage, because like the Haitians
Do
did.
you say the same thing for so? Oh, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think that they should have not extradited Hushpuppi either?
They didn't extradite him from Nigeria. I don't. It was from Emirates. So
They
that's
didn't, but I'm saying, should they have tried
Dubai.
to protect him?
Dubai. They have a right to do whatever they like. Me, I'm talking about our own people, black people. We shouldn't be extraditing our own, especially in a country like Nigeria with 200 million people. You can have judges to try them. We have professors after professors in law there. Let them try him there, and stop embarrassing yourselves by, I don't know how many countries that has got 200 million population that behaves like this. We shouldn't. We need to grow up. Our people simply need to grow up. We can't be acting like
let me
children.
just say, I agree with you. I agree with you that we should protect our own and stuff like that. I just wanted to add in that context. And then also, you got to understand, like, for Nigeria, you could do that, but like, it's hard to get a lot of financial services in Nigeria. It's hard to do anything with a Nigerian passport. So like, if you give off that impression to the world that we're gonna let people scam you or conspire in scams against these other countries, and then when you come to take them, we're not gonna punish them. That's not a good look for the country, and it can impact more people to
Did you
protect
just
the
hear what I
criminal.
said? You see, you talked about it yourself. Our passports, our reputation, they are tarnishing it. There is a reason why they are able to do that when, in terms of the scams that are going on around the world, we barely get 5% of anything out of it. It's because people feel like they can tarnish us and they can get away with it. It's like how they scapegoat anybody. They see an African American and do this in any environment, a crime that a white person committed, they will just scapegoat the African American. This is the kind of stuff they are doing with Nigeria too. If we want to fight back against this thing, we should tarnish some other people's name too. Because since they are all calling this is scammers, let's call all of them scammers and call them what they are, instead of saying whenever they commit a scam, they will say it's a financial this thing. They will sanitize it basically. But for us, it's always a scam.
Sorry. So if you don't mind, I need to come in real quick and just drop a point. So as important as it is to realize the damage, the unfair criticism that we get sometimes, different groups of people, whether you're Nigerian, African American, wherever you're from, especially so-called Black people around the world, we get a lot of unfair criticism at all times. But we also need to tell ourselves the truth, because if we are not realistic with our positions, then we would find it difficult to solve our problems. Now, in Nigeria, we currently have extremely weak judiciary institutions. I mean, we have a country where poor people are the only ones that go to prison. Rich people that are connected to the political elite, religious or traditional elite, they don't go to prison. They commit crimes all the time, documented crimes. They never go to jail. It's impossible to send a top politician to prison if he is not the enemy of the current administration. That's how it works. Like what we've seen happen in South Africa in 2021, the former president, can't remember his name now. He was being investigated for some fraudulent activity.
Jacob Zuma.
Yeah, Jacob Zuma. Yeah, he was under investigation for fraud, for corruption, and then the judge ordered him to show up in court. I can't remember what the story was. I think he was supposed to show up in court and come around and defend himself against the charges.
No, he didn't show up to court. That's why I think he went to jail.
Yeah, so he didn't show up in court and he went to jail. You see, that will never happen in Nigeria for a past president under investigation or any past president in any capacity to go to jail. It's not going to happen because we have extremely weak institutions where individuals, private citizens, especially past politicians, past elites, religious, traditional, political, elites don't go to jail. They don't go to prison. In fact, you as a police officer that tries to arrest an elite, you will get beat up. You might get killed. You're definitely going to lose your job if you survive. Okay. Sorry about that. That's the situation in Nigeria. And that's why a lot of Nigerians, even though it's crazy to have your citizen extradited to a country that treats you unfairly, okay, you want your citizen to get extradited to such a country because you know you're not going to get any justice in your country. And that's exactly why people are supporting the extradition of a guy like Abba Kyari. I don't blame them. Because if you can't get justice in a country, if justice only applies to the poor people and the poor people make up the majority of the population, then it's a joke. So that's what I was going to say.
I think that I agree with you in terms of, when somebody does something wrong, they are supposed to pay for it. I'm not here trying to argue for fraudsters or all that stuff. However, when you talk about elites in Nigeria not being going to jail and stuff, I point any country where elites go to jail in great numbers. And so just hold on for a second.
Go ahead, Brandon. Unmute yourself, Brandon. Go ahead.
Hey, I wasn't going to get on this. Can you hear me okay, first and foremost?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so these African dudes are doing the African BS shuffle right now, right? And I want to point to the example the brother brought up about Jacob Zuma, right? They arrested him, we need to be like South Africa. Diners, what happened once they arrested Jacob Zuma? Did a bunch of rich people go out and start destroying the community, tearing down the buildings and all that?
No, they did start rioting the
regular ass
people, yeah. Not poor, but the regular people started rioting.
There was poor people too, because they was trying to get them some too. They was trying to get up in them buildings and stuff and get some loot. The regular people, the people who supported Zuma, which was a lot because they did a lot of damage, right? Started rioting. So that alone proves that these African dudes, and we're all Africans, but these continental African dudes are just full of BS. It's not the elites. It's not the government. It is the regular, everyday African who supports these elite con artists when they think it's going to benefit them. And that is proof positive When Jacob Zuma was arrested, these regular dudes, they missed work, Dinus, to go out and riot and demand his release. That is why he felt like he was above the law. That is why he felt like he could not get arrested, because he felt like he knew, hey, if I don't obey the law, a bunch of weird, regular South Africans are going to come and tear everything up for me. Same thing in Nigeria. Those people are backed by regular people who support them, whether it's because of tribal lines or because they benefit or they feel like they benefit due to this person being in power. I'm tired of African people blaming governments. The people select the government. No one is more powerful than the people. Even in you look at Ukraine right now, the people are fighting for the government that they feel is legitimate. When they had the Russian puppet leader, they kicked his butt out. And everyone wants to say, oh, the United States used them as puppets. Bro, listen, the United States couldn't even have predicted that these Western Ukrainians would come out in the way they did against that puppet governor and then president, and then support Zelensky the way they did. Corruption starts at the bottom. A corrupt people will elect a corrupt leader. And when that corrupt leader does something that hurts them, that's when they're going to start complaining and screaming about corruption. And it's no more evident in any other place. It's more evident in Africa than any other place. They want the guy in when it benefits them. If it don't benefit them, all the guy's corrupt.
I think there is
I need to comment.
to what he just said, but however, there is don't worry, you get your chance. I think there is some truth to what he just said. However, leadership, that's why people need leadership. If people can just, find a vision for themselves, then they would not need leadership at all. That's why they hate leaders in Nigeria and many African countries, because they feel like they are not getting good leadership that is shepherding them in the right direction. About what the gentleman said, I'm sorry I was interrupted. When you are looking at elites around the world, there is barely any country that elites are accountable. Even in this country, the prime minister broke so many rules. He's not accountable. In America, just look at, he's full of that all over the place. Elites simply don't pay for what they do.
America every day tonight. Just stop making up
stuff. No, they don't. Stop pretending as if they do.
Harvey Weinstein isn't an elite.
Oh my God, he died in prison, and after how many years?
He died in prison because he went to jail.
See, but you mentioned Harvey Weinstein. They are using him. They use him as a token. This is not like every day. See, okay, how many people were jailed for the financial crisis that we had?
Bro, there's
how many people were jailed for the false evidence of the Iraq War?
Bro, the richest black man in America, Robert, whatever his name is, he almost went to jail for doing illegal business with offshore accounts. A lot of people have went to jail.
By that standards, it means there are elites in Nigeria too that went to prison. They've jailed a former governor of Nigeria too. It's not the former governor. I think somebody that used to run under him or something. They do jail some top people too in Nigeria, but by and large, it's the same all over the world. Communists, capitalists, socialists, it doesn't matter.
Name the person. Look, name the specific person who committed a crime and was found guilty and did not go to jail. Better yet, name the famous person who didn't show up in court, because at the bare minimum, elitist, he definitely gonna bring his ass to court, because if he don't, they're gonna come get him.
Because he can get to court. See, I don't know why people are saying I'm a liar. When they keep saying I'm a liar about this, they should actually look at the facts on the ground. And people talk too much from their feelings and what they think they know. They don't really check the facts, because when they say this is why they hate African leaders, that's why they think every African leaders or elites in Africa, they all get away with stuff. It's not all of them that are getting away with stuff. If you go to Nigeria today, you see so many of them in court cases. I've seen a situation whereby a governor that won an election, the court overturned the election in Nigeria, and you know why? Because his deputy forged some of his CV. They overturned a governorship election and put the guy that came second, made the person that came second the governor of the state. So if the elites are so powerful, why is that possible? This is something that happens in a country like Nigeria, and it happened peacefully.
To Niger, the big difference between America and Nigeria is when there's problems in America, American people don't say, oh, it's because corruption. The problem with you guys is you guys blame corruption for everything, anything. A cat get hit by a damn car. Oh, it's corruption. So don't sit up and holler corruption is the problem in every instance. And then when we say, yo, there's corruption here. No, it's no more corrupt than anywhere else. You can't have it both ways. Either it's corruption where the people are responsible for it because corruption starts at the bottom, or it's just like every other country. Make up your mind. In America, if someone says, yo, these people didn't get Flint, Michigan water, no one's going to say it's corruption. They'll say like, okay, it's racism. It's, they don't give a damn about those people. They're not going to say, oh, it's corruption. They're not going to say that because they're going to take accountability for the role that they play in what's going on with the government that they chose. Flint, Michigan, there's black councilmen and stuff in Flint, Michigan, black congressmen and stuff like that. So they can't say it's corruption. What they're going to say is it's a failure on the part of leadership. Instead of saying that, you guys say it's corruption, it's corruption. And at the same time, you guys go out in droves to vote for these leaders who you say are so corrupt. And we know you're not voting on them based on their policies, because if they have policies, there will be some improvement. You guys are voting for them based on tribal lines. That's why the president's Hausa and the Hausas, they make sure those guys stay in office because those guys come together. And the Igbos and the Yorubas, what they do, non-participation. Oh, it's not somebody who looks like us. We're not going to go. So they keep on getting people who are Hausa. Then they blame it on corruption. No. Go put in the work. You want to fix it? Go vote for the guy who's going to fix it and defend that guy at all costs. Instead of doing that, you can silently condone it, and then when it doesn't work out, you can scream it's corruption. No,
you know what?
You
I'm
guys
gonna
are
defend our. Okay, this I came. You know what? I've been one of those people that bash our people a lot, but when I hear this type of stuff, I feel like I need to say something about it because it's not exactly true that Nigeria is as tribal. If you look at the last 20 years, the Southerners have run the country almost the same length of time as the Northerners. They voted them into, and they were actually popular, these leaders. And secondly, when we say our continent, we are extremely tribal and very hateful of each other. You forget that Europeans are worse. So how can we keep saying it? This is exactly tied to the same type of scam stuff that they associate with Nigerians. There's an element of everything negative about us is kind of magnified, while stuff for other people is sanitized. That we have to be careful the way we talk about our people, and this is why you hear Nigerians happily want to surrender a senior police officer to a foreign country, something that they will never do for you. It's just crazy because we always buy into the kind of narrative that is out there. I'm not even sure who created this narrative, because if somebody looks at the ledger, it's not true.
Let me come in, brother. Let me come in. Okay, I'm gonna start with Brandon. Tunaja, I'm gonna come back to you, bro. Brandon, you're a good brother, okay? A good brother. And I mean this with all respect, but you're quite emotional, okay? Feel free to bash me. I'm not trying to spite you or disparage you. I'm just saying it how I feel. Because you came here and you said, oh, you guys are complaining, it's the corrupt politicians, but you guys don't want to participate in the elections to get the real good people to get into powerful positions so they can fix your problems. But have you understood how the electoral processes work in some countries, bro? We're not talking about America. We're not talking about Ghana. We're not talking about countries that have decently established democratic systems. We're talking about a country where your votes, you the voters, it only accounts for about 50% of the results. That sounds crazy because the votes are supposed to account for 100% of the results. I know it's different in America. They have the electoral college and all that stuff. In Nigeria, when you vote, based on the number of candidates and the percentage of votes that you get from different regions determines the winner. But when you have a case where the actual votes don't even determine 100%, they only determine 50% of the results, because rigging elections is part of the infrastructure. It's just how it is. Listen, you would have localities where they have 5 million refugees because Boko Haram has been killing them since 2009. That region's population was 12 million people. 5 million are now refugees. These are just hypothetical numbers. If 5 million are refugees, which means there are 7 million people, out of the 7 million people, there are 2 million eligible voters, 2 million adults with PVCs that can go out there to vote. If that same region produces 5 million votes, are you not going to be asking questions? Are you not going to be wondering, did these extra numbers come out from a magical place? Apart from that, we're talking about the INEC, the Independent National Electoral Commission, that is directly under the executive arm of the government. That is a conflict of interest on its own, because the executive arm of government, which is led by the presidency, has an affiliation with a political party. And if INEC is directly controlled by the executive arm of government, is that not a conflict of interest? So the entire voting process is flawed. That's why when we have good candidates that we go out there to campaign for, they're never going to get there. It's the same old criminals that will continue getting to those positions and recycling themselves. Now, if you come out here to blame me, the average person, I'm not a wealthy person, I'm an average individual. You come out here to blame me for allowing criminals to run my country dry. Can you please explain how that makes any sense? If I am doing all that I can within my capacity to expose these people, to get them out of those places, but they somehow get back into those positions. And then you're blaming me saying that, oh yeah, you guys, you're not going to support the good guy because he's not from the same ethnic group as you. You're not going to support the good guy because he's a Muslim and you're a Christian. That's not how it works, bro. A lot of us are regular people with intellect.
Can I ask
we are
you a
intelligent, and we do. Sorry, I'll let you go now, bro. We do all what we can to fight against the corruption that has completely enveloped us. So if you come out here and you're blaming me for playing my part, then I don't know what else to say to you, bro. But you can ask me a question.
Have you ever heard of the Arab Spring?
Yes.
African countries they outnumber. They have like more people, than most Arab countries.
Yeah.
Those Arabs, when they didn't like what was going on in their country, in masses, they didn't say, yo, I gotta go to work today. They didn't say, yo, this guy's in my same tribe. They went to the main squares of their countries. They went to their government buildings, and they stood there protesting, screaming, and yelling until their leaders were forced to abdicate the positions of authority and give them the leadership that they wanted. There is absolutely nothing stopping African countries from doing that.
My brother, we've done that already.
Hold on. No. You didn't do it. You didn't do it the way you'd do it if there was some money on the line. Like if somebody was giving if somebody said the last person standing in this courtyard is going to get $50 million. Man, you Nigerians will be out there for 50 years sitting up in that courtyard trying to get that money. You guys, you did it for a little while and then you stopped. And when you do it for a little while, why was that? Because it was mostly students going against SARS. It wasn't the everyday average Nigerian person. It was students. And students, they don't have any means to do anything. They just they can be like a flash in the pan. They could fight for a little while and go away. Arab Spring, Arab countries overthrew their leadership, nonviolent, and changed leaders. There are articles of impeachment in every constitution and all that around the world. If you guys wanted to, you would. You don't, because there's still a large segment of your population that benefits from corruption because they are corrupt. Whether that be because they're getting whether they're getting monetary benefits or because they just feel like they rather have someone who is in their same tribe in office. That's the problem. And I'm not a person who's against tribalism. I actually like tribalism. But the problem is when there's still tribal people from that tribe starving, suffering in the streets, that means that at that point, the politicians ain't even doing stuff along tribal lines. So they're not even helping the people who put them in office. You guys need to stop sitting there making excuses, grow a pair, and go kick those dudes up out of office. If a
My
couple of
friend,
white people in America could go toe to toe, get killed to go raid the Capitol building, right? You Nigeria, black people in America are a minority. We can't go to Washington and shut nothing down. They outnumber us. You guys are the majority. Go handle your business and stop making these lame ass excuses.
bro, listen, I agree with a lot of things that you said. Look, listen, man, let's have this conversation in such a way that we are trying to enlighten ourselves to go solve these problems. Motivate, because right now you're motivating me. We don't have an excuse. We are the majority. We have to go out there and handle business. I agree, but we it's a little bit difficult, you know. And you can say whatever you want to say. Oh, you're scared. You don't have a balls, or you grow up here. Yeah. The truth is, we've tried a lot of things, right? In 2011, 2012, we had the Occupy Nigeria protest. It was the mother of all protests. Okay, this affected every single Nigerian because there was a huge hike in fuel prices within a short period of time, and that was so inconvenient. So everybody went out there, bro. Airlines literally shut down. There was no more flights between Lagos and Abuja. Yo, I took the last flight January 4th, 2012 from Lagos to Abuja. Once I got to Abuja on the 5th of January, all airports were shut down. That was how serious the protest was. And then that protest ended up, you know, about 20 something people got killed. I mean, a life lost is important, but in the grand scheme of things, if only 20 something people die in a protest that took 2 weeks and millions of people took to the streets across the country, then it's still better than our previous track records. Then in 2020, we had the NSARS. And like you said, NSARS only affected a tiny fraction of the population. And SARS, because SARS will not go after poor people. SARS goes after rich but vulnerable people. Okay, especially young people. If you're rich, you're young, you're vulnerable because your dad is not a minister, your mother is not a senator, you don't know any top political person or any elite, then you're vulnerable. Those were the kind of people SARS were going against. Now, the End SARS campaign, in my opinion, that was the biggest opportunity that we missed because we should have turned that into end this constitution now. Listen, if we had, but that's even a big word because truth be told, you're talking about end the constitution. It's only a tiny fraction of Nigerians that even know what the constitution is or what it's about. Majority of Nigerians have no clue what the constitution is. That's how bad this is, bro. So now that I'm thinking about it, that I'm saying, if we had changed this to end this 1999 constitution now, instead of end SARS now, that would have made more sense. But the fact that a tiny fraction of the population understands what the constitution is and what it's about, then that wouldn't have made sense. But maybe if we had turned it into end bad governance now, that would have affected at least 50% of the population. And a lot of people are willing to die. I mean, I've seen some crazy interviews. Wait, one sec, bro. One sec, bro. Don't cut me off, brother. Wait, hold on one sec. Sonaja, just give me like 30 more seconds. Sorry about that. I've seen some interviews in recent times of Nigerians volunteering to go to Ukraine to go fight against Russia. People are like, man, I will go to Ukraine. Let me tell you, I'll go to Ukraine. I'll go and fight. Bro, what's the point living in this country? It's better I die in Ukraine than living in this country. Let me tell you, my pregnant wife, I'll take my pregnant wife to go and fight in Ukraine with my unborn baby. That's how psychologically skilled, frustrated many people are. So many people are willing to die. That's the point that I'm trying to bring up here.
So you have the peak. So what I'm telling you is, this sounds to me like you got an army that's ready to take it to the make the ultimate sacrifice. So if you're in a country where people are so oppressed that they're willing to die, why hasn't that rose up? Why haven't they rose up? Let me tell you why. Because you got a bunch of Nigerians who leave Nigeria, sit up and try to talk about Nigerian politics, sit up and try to act fake patriotic for Nigeria. And what it does is it shames the ones in Nigeria who are really suffering from doing anything about what's going on with them, because everything is about propaganda, bro. If you got Nigerians around the world acting like we just living it up, it's all good. You know, Nigeria's popping. Oh, we got Nollywood. Oh, look at these movies we making. That means
Because these are the things that distract the people, bro.
Hold on, calm down. Listen, you said I was supposed to calm down. Look, so when you got people who are really suffering and they're ready to fight, they're gonna hesitate to make the move because they're gonna say, look, we have something that has already co-opted our message, our propaganda. Either Nigeria's the best place on earth or it's the worst place on earth. You got a bunch of people talking about, oh, it's corrupt, but then talking about how excellent it is. If I say something about Nigeria, oh, Brandon's picking on Nigeria. The whole point I'm trying to make with what I'm saying is this, bro. Benjamin Franklin once said, those who would sacrifice liberty for safety deserve neither, bro. So if you're not willing to die for what you believe in, then you don't really believe in it. If you're not willing to die to fight corruption in your country, then you don't really believe that your country is corrupt. You don't believe that your country deserves anything more than corrupt governments. And that's really what it is when it comes to the African people. Africans feel like they don't deserve anything better than what they're getting. And most of those Africans are the ones who don't even live there. You got a bunch of freaking Africans who don't even live in their home country cheerleading for corrupt governments, telling people it ain't that bad. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and all that kind of crap. It's just a hypocrisy thing.
My brother, I fall outside that category of Africans, just so you know. Because I'm very, very angry. One sec, Tunaja, I'm so sorry, bro. I keep cutting you off. I'm so sorry. But let me just say this last point. I am one of those so-called Nigerians. In fact, these days, I don't even want to call myself a Nigerian anymore. I'm just a Yoruba African because I'm sick and tired of the way Nigeria has treated me throughout my entire lives. And all the times that we've tried to fight back, there is always something hard that comes back against you. And it's just so difficult. You know, right now we have degraded the society to such a point where the social structure is gone. We hate ourselves more than ever along tribal lines and all this stupid shit. And it just doesn't make any sense. So that's why, me personally, if I want to take from your advice that go out there, fight for what you believe in and be ready to die for it. My friend, I'm not ready to die for Nigeria. Because if you die for Nigeria, bro, you've died for nothing.
Bro, you got people who are Nigerian who are ready.
Can I say something? I think see you've been saying stuff. Can I say something? I think that can I just say something with this guy? What's wrong with him? See, this discussion, I think you have to be careful what you're asking for. Because when you talk about end the constitution, then you don't seem to understand. This is the thing. We have to grow up. We can't just say end the constitution. Do you know what that means? That is basically what those people that went into the Capitol building were looking to do. They wanted, and what they were even talking about was not even ending the constitution. They were looking to uphold it. They were actually looking to uphold it. So let me finish my point, please. And when you talk about because the country is so bad and things are really bad, then that is the reason why you cannot defend your own country. That is another cop out again. Do you know what I experienced in that country this week? The money I've spent for broadband and just petrol alone to power a building is more than what I spent here for 2-3 months in 1 week. Because fuel scarcity is there now. You have to buy petrol twice. Does that make me think that, you know what? Let me go and rest in another man's country that another man worked hard to put together? You have to do your own. If you want. See, our people have done this type of we've used this type of mentality, and this is where it has gotten us. We have a billion population, and we haven't got any to show for it. This is the weakness that I see over and over again. How can a man say, you know what, I cannot die for my country, but I'll go and die for another man's country? You are a man. That is the definition. Grow up. You wake up and you do your job for your own this neighborhood and your land. It's not for anybody to do for you. Your heritage is a great heritage. You can't just sit there and say, you know what, let these smaller people, our children, come and save us. Basically, our children. We are older people on this earth. We have the one of the best continents that you get real estate on this planet. And you hear what he said. A man He's saying, let's go and die. I will take my pregnant wife and die somewhere else. What kind of thinking does that to you? I think it's a part of conditioning. If you want to ask for smart things to do for your country, you say, you know what? I see what is wrong in my country. My country is not founded like a normal country. You can change the constitution all you like. It's not going to make any difference because the problem exists in Ghana. It exists in Benin Republic. It exists in almost black countries all around the world, and black communities the same thing. You have to do your job to make sure that your communities are safe. The only country that voted against this UN resolution against this Russia, the only country that did it in Africa was Eritrea. Guess what? Eritrea is the most secure country in this thing, in sub-Saharan Africa, because they have their own voice. Why would Nigeria not vote on the side of Ukraine, on the side of the West, when they are so weak and when they themselves could be invaded? Do you want them to today vote against the West? Then tomorrow, when they are being invaded, then they'll be like, you know what? Yeah, you voted for it now. You sided with the people that are voting for, that are invading people. Why are you complaining about being invaded? So Nigerians, when Nigerian politicians think about these things, they know, they use their tongue to count the number of teeth in their mouth. They are not stupid. They know that they are weak. Tomorrow somebody might want to come and invade them. And your record will be there to show that, hey, you voted for another country to invade another country. Why are you complaining now?
True, Niger. I think the reason why you think the way you think is because you don't really understand what a constitution is. When you started your little spiel off with this idea that the people who went to the Capitol on January 6th were trying to overthrow and overturn the Constitution, that really showed that you don't know what you're talking about.
I did correct myself. I said they claimed they wanted to uphold the Constitution.
Okay. Well, if they want to uphold the Constitution represents the people. When you write the Constitution is like a contract written by the people, right? To themselves, really. Once the government breaks the Constitution, the people have a right to raise up and overthrow that Constitution. The problem with you guys is you guys are trying to do democratic politics. You don't understand democracy. You don't even understand what a constitution is or the way it works. Very few people in the country understand how that is supposed to go. Therefore, the people don't realize that the Constitution is actually, it represents the rule of the people. So when you take a bunch of people who come from a tribal history where there's kind of like a chief and the chief makes the rules and he does whatever and he tells people what to do, then it's hard for them to grasp the idea that they are actually the government. They are the ones in control. So what they don't realize is that their corruption is perpetuating government corruption. Their corruption is the vehicle by which the government is able to be corrupt. Right? So so maybe you guys just all need education on that. I really think you guys need to get away from democracy, like democratic politics. I think you guys maybe should do something where there's a bunch of tribal chiefs who represent every tribe, and there's just a council, and then they make decisions and have a singular figure that is a tie-breaking vote, right? I think that might work better than what you guys are currently doing.
You see, the problem with that is that was where we were when they came in. We had powers handed to traditional chiefs and it didn't get us anywhere. I believe that the way forward is to have a more advanced constitution than the West, that's democracy than the West has. I think we have to reimagine the future because you have to occupy space that they have not thought about. When you keep trying to hack back to previous eras, you're not going to get anywhere. There's no reason why we cannot invent a newer democratic system that is more advanced than they have. Because I take inspiration from what Nigerian banking system did. They have a more advanced banking system than they have in the West, in Nigeria. But if you take that and translate it to our democratic systems, there is no reason why we
can't. They have a more advanced banking system.
Yes, no. You don't know. That's why do you think Nigeria is able to do this thing? You don't know. Yes, you do. It's more robust. It's more robust. You can't defraud the Nigerian banking system. You can't.
Come on, man.
You got a more advanced banking system? You guys pumping out those little
I'm telling you, man. Check. See, if they even stated it here in the West themselves, I am not even making it up. They are the ones that stated it here in the West. How do you think Nigeria is able to function if the banking system was
Okay,
not
okay,
airtight.
okay. Tonight, I'll say this: if you, okay, so we can't. So say they had the most advanced banking, more advanced banking system in Nigeria
Yes,
than America.
yes.
The customer service is probably the
Okay,
worst I've ever experienced.
you sure? Okay, I
Oh
don't
my God, dude!
see.
In
My
Nigeria,
experience is not the same.
listen, listen. Let me say this: the UBA in Oshobo, I'm fine, but whenever I go to a UBA in Lagos, they can't even do something as simple as change my name.
Nah.
Ours is process where I
Bro,
got to fill
bro,
out all this paperwork.
negotiants.
Like,
Mm,
listen. If I need to do it, if I need to change something in my bank account here in
mm,
America, is a simple phone call. In
yes.
Nigeria, I
Mm.
got to fill out documents, ID, resign this. Oh, your signature doesn't match. Oh, what are you talking about? It's too slow. Your
Oh
signature,
God, I've
your
had that
signature.
one.
I'm like,
See,
what?
see. I think
Your
they've
signature
moved
doesn't
up
match.
from that now. Now you have to use video, and this is authentication. See, I get where you're coming from, but I think most of, in terms of, I think they are talking about in terms of being able to defraud the system and stuff like that. They've tightened it up very, very well. I believe that if you can do that, that's why we also were able to go on with our digital currency. I think it was only one other country that did it before Nigeria in the world. You know, if Nigeria can be that ambitious on that front, why is it that we should be less ambitious when it comes to democracy? We can take it from where they stop because we have a very diverse continent and we have a diverse population. If you want to have a dictatorship, or it's not going to work because one side will say you are oppressing them. So the only way to go, logical way that doesn't lead to serious bloodshed, is to have a more advanced this is a democratic system that takes in all inputs. Like, okay, like the way the Swiss, I think in Switzerland, they have a very different kind of democratic system that most of the stuff they do referendum for it. They have about 8 presidents at a time. I don't know how they do that, but we should explore ways to have a more advanced system that is outside the norm right now. So I'm just saying that you need to think outside the box than saying, oh, end the constitution. End the constitution, you are declaring war, you are declaring anarchy. Nigeria is going to turn to Somalia or Syria. You have to have intelligent things that you want to ask for. Because if you look at the problem of the country, as I see in my country, I see a country that is not secure. I see a country that is under administered. You don't have these things, people that enforce law and order. You ask for those things. If you don't ask for those things, you are just going to keep running around this cycle and cycle and cycle and cycle, and you don't get anywhere. We have to be smart about this. You can't just say, "Oh, SARS police is bad. The government is evil." What are you asking for? Brandon will come here tomorrow and say, we are all guilty of the same thing because we are not asking for the right things." I believe that if you tell them, you know what, recruit our children to go and protect our country. Why are people kidnapping our children? Why is terrorist group doing all this? It's common sense thing. The women, you don't see them. I recently, the women in Nigeria, they were angry that they didn't pass a vote to give them some kind of affirmative right to have a certain number of people in the house of the lawmaking houses. But you don't see the same women coming out to argue that why are people being kidnapped in our country? Why is Boko Haram this? Why are you not sending our boys to go and defend our country? We expect everything to be done for us. Are we children? I don't know. And the next, the first instinct they have, let me take my children overseas. Let me go and fight for people overseas. Who is going to do it? I keep saying this. We have 5-foot Asian men out there doing a better job than our 7-foot men. We really should be embarrassed. We are not children. We are men. We can't. Do you want women to go and do the job for you? I don't want to hear an African man or a black man start shaking responsibility constantly online. It's really tiring. Because me, I'm taking hit here. I'm telling you right now, I'm taking hits every day in Nigeria. Nigeria is like a jelly. 1 minute you go forward, the next minute you go backward. It's like a country that is designed not to make any progress at all. But who is going to solve it if you don't take the hit?
Tunaja, let me just actually, this is my closing remark because I have to leave soon. Thank you so much, Diana Samir, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you to Naija and everybody else that came through. But I was going to end this with, what we're currently dealing with in Nigeria, even though I'm not physically in Nigeria, is right now we experienced the power grid in the entire country collapsing twice in 48 hours. One, we are currently experiencing petrol scarcity. Around the world, gas prices have gone up, but in Nigeria, gas prices went up and are not even there at the gas stations. So you go to the gas station, you line up for 2 days before you can get gas into your car. And we're talking about the dry season. This is March. This is the dry season. So if you're going to bed at night in Lagos, the temperature in your room is like 35 degrees Celsius. You can't sleep in that heat. And there is no light. And there is no gasoline.
You better off
power
sleeping
your
outside.
generator.
You better off sleeping outside.
Now you go outside to sit down on your fence so you can take some fresh air. Depends on where you are. If you're in Lagos, you might get raided by the police because they are just raiding, looking for armed robbers, and you end up in prison, in Gallo. So the truth is, we have a ton of problems. ASU is on strike. That is the Academic Staff Union of Universities. What else? Police is threatening to go on strike. There is brain drain happening at a record pace. Doctors are running away to Saudi Arabia, to the United Kingdom. We only have 70,000 doctors for 200 million people, but about 40,000 of them have left the country. So everything is going down, and it has been on this trajectory for decades. If 2023 election happens, because it might not even happen, because right now people are pushed to the limit. If the election happens and another criminal gets into power, the suffering is going to continue. So it's our duty to do as much as possible to resist and reject these criminals, okay, from putting us in this position. And then finally, as far as the Constitution is concerned, before we can restructure the country, I was thinking about some ideas that Tunaja brought up. He said something about Switzerland having 8 presidents. That actually makes sense. That is an advanced form of democracy that can be implemented in many other countries, including Nigeria. So if Nigeria is going to implement something similar to that, that would make sense because there are many huge ethnic groups. And maybe if the country is restructured, each region can have its own president, and then there will be a center. For that to be implemented, the constitution has to go, because the constitution is a contract between the people and the government to determine their future. But if that contract was not created by the people, because it was created by certain greedy individuals that have benefited from the rot in this country for decades, the same people that are supposed to be in prison today, but because of how weak the judiciary system is, they can't go to prison and they are now godfathers. If those people get back in power, then I don't know. But thanks so much for having me. I'm just going to sign out now. Peace and blessings.
All right, for sure. Peace. Hey, Emmanuel, go ahead, Emmanuel. Unmute yourself, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, unmute yourself. Emmanuel, unmute yourself. All right, go ahead, Tunaja.
I think this guy is driving him away. I think some of his stuff he said about, when I said about 8 presidents, I didn't say that it was regional presidents. I think they take turns somehow. They manage to shuffle it. And I don't think that this is the time to be talking about constitution anyway, because there will be a lot of dispute. I think this is the time to be imagining how to extract.
Yeah, sorry, I was listening. I'll come back after him later.
Yeah, this is a time to extract trust from your system, because there are times. There was a time, I think in the 80s, 90s, when car theft was very, was all over the place. People can steal cars, but with technology, they started having GPS trackers. It became a problem to even steal a car. When you steal a car, you bring the police to your house, and before you know it, the criminals decide to move somewhere else. I think that there's something to be learned from that. That's what I advise our people to be learning from these things. If you want to remove corruption from the system, fight for it to be transparent. There is no reason why any money that goes into the governor's account that belongs to the state is not visible to every citizen. Why is he hiding it? Why is he able to send money to his palace and send money to this and use our money anyhow? We should be able to see the balance every single day, and whoever is making payments to, because by the time he runs for office, we have already heard what he's going to do with the money. If he says he's going to build a power plant, we are going to say, what company are you looking to build it with? That company is a shady company. We want you to use a quality company that has history. Those type of stuff If you demand transparency, sooner or later, you are going to discourage these thieves from coming into running for office. That is a simple thing that will increase trust in the government and also let your money go far. It means the people now can even have a whip round. Nigeria generates $500 billion a year. If Nigeria had a whip round and took 1,000 naira from each Nigerian citizen, you know what they can do with that? They can build an ultra modern hospital in every region every single year. They can hire a lot of security operatives. They can hire a lot of lawyers. They can be able to administer their country for once. But they won't do that. They're talking about constitution, break up the country, like that is a new thing. These things happen over and over again. We have to be clever about what we're asking for. Because if you ask for the right things, maybe even the politicians will not pick up on it because they are just as stupid as many Nigerians. They'll be thinking, oh, they're just asking for transparency. It's okay. Before you know it, oh, now I have to show every money that is going out of the account. By next time, it will be like, I'm retiring. Let the next guy come and run because this is not making money for me because obviously I came here to make money. Then next time, you will have people that actually want to do the right thing run for office because we've talked about this all here already. People in Africa lack trust in their leaders. As a matter of fact, it's not just Africa. I think this is almost all over the world now. They lack trust in their leaders. One of the ways to increase that trust is for everything to become more transparent. The only area that should be in the dark is for security. Everything else, we should know where the money is going. Is there any particular reason any money any government is spending should be in the dark?
No.
Exactly. This is common sense, and this is the modern age. We have the technology. Why are they not demanding these things? And these are the young men that went out protesting for SARS, and they have mobile phones in their pockets. So let us start being smart about these things. Thank you.
Go ahead, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, hello, diners. Hello, Tubaba. How you guys doing? Hope you're well. Yeah, Tubaba makes a whole lot of point. But the issue here is that, the system has been corrupt for a very long time. So that is why everything seems more glaring to all of us that, we can't go forward more than where we are before. But like you saying, I'm not going to, kind of object most of your point. Sometimes, Nigeria is a very big country that even at the end of the day, you see people living that country with, 20,000 pounds to the UK, to come and do their masters. So I cannot explain that. Someone saying the country is very hard for them, they will still spend 18 to 20 to 25,000 just to pay UK government to do a master's degree. They end up becoming a security or a caregiver. So I don't understand that point. So no country is far-fetched like what is happening in Nigeria. Even the UK government, the American government, additional millions of dollars to Ukraine. But when this issue were happening in other parts of Nigeria, like Boko Haram, nobody was interested to come and help us fight Boko Haram. Now they are saying they're going to come to Africa to channel our crude oil, which they already know that Nigeria is building pipeline to Morocco because Morocco don't want to buy gas from Algeria. So you see the whole point. The point here is a little bit confusing because, classified information is at everybody's fingertips now. So people are not getting the real story. That's why people are not being agitated. Why have you not done this for so many times? I know people don't like Buhari administration because it's not the system people are used to. Because you could go to Abuja as an individual, as an entity, you have, a contract. But now it's hard to get contract. I have a friend that was dredging in Bayelsa when Buhari came in. He left the job because Buhari is not ready to allow you to use most of the, the country's resources for free when you are not paying tax. Like I know Tubaba stays in the UK, now he's in Nigeria complaining about fuel, he's using fuel and all that. Yeah, everybody feels it. Even here now, a liter of fuel in the UK is almost £2. Nobody talks about council tax, they are paying, gas, everything has gone up. But when it comes to Nigeria, people like to aid, but when people suffer it in UK or maybe in America, they are very comfortable not to say the disadvantages that is happening. So I hope the election will go right, not people like Tinubu that is, is going to repeat more, even worse than every other president have come to, done in Nigeria. So we are looking for the smart, honest people, not even the most. Just honesty is what Nigerians need to really, drive the country forward, rather than buying houses or coming to UK to spend money unnecessarily. So those are my take. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I think I like the way you talk actually, because you are one of those people that call things out. You talked about 20,000 that Nigerians pay to come and study. Many of them do this, and I've worked with Nigerians that I think at least 2 of them have left Nigeria to come and study overseas, and that's why I was working with them in Nigeria. So they do these things and they wonder why things are the way they are. They talk about Buhari all the time. But if you look at Buhari may not be the sharpest, he's not the sharpest guy, but he's not a dishonest human being. He tries to do the best that he can for this country. And like you said, he didn't want the people to embezzle the money. I see that in the system too. I can tell you right now, they see some of my package in Nigeria, and the custom officials, you can see how scared they are to even do anything that is not within the rules. This is not Nigeria that I used to know before, where you just bribe somebody and that's it. No, they refuse. They won't move. You have to bring evidence for them. You have to bring this because they want to cover their backside because they have to answer to somebody. That is the Nigeria I see today. But it's as frustrating for me, just as it is for people in Nigeria, because I have to spend the money. I have to face all the problems, the power cuts. I even asked that, why don't you just charge us the money? I'm going to pay for it. But no, you wouldn't even get that. Nigeria is very frustrating on so many levels. But I've just resolved in my mind that no matter what happens, who is going to fix it if we don't try to fix it ourselves? We are not children. That is our inheritance. The people in Ukraine now facing Russia, are they going to say, what, because Russia decides to invade, let's just all of us run out? No, all the men were ordered to stay behind and defend your land, because nobody else is going to do it for you, even if it's a hopeless war. Our men need to start understanding their responsibility, and our women need to start calling our men out to do their job and ask for the right things. We have to be clever about what we ask from our government, like that NDLA thing that you just talked about right now. I've had a conversation with somebody about that too in Nigeria. I said, how is it that federal government gives these people money to, invest in the riverine, the oil producing areas, and they're able to embezzle it? You should be able to see every money in that account, because whenever you give them money, there are projects that they are meant to do. You are supposed to pre-select the companies that are going to work on that project. You are supposed to know the price the project is supposed to be worth before the money lands into any account. Nigerians that claim that they are paranoid, this is why what Brandon said is quite correct. We claim we are paranoid and we hate corruption so much. Why don't we ask for these things? It's like you go to a shop one day and you try to buy something from that shop. The guy takes your money and never does anything for you. The next time you say, what? I need to see the stuff you are selling me. But Nigerians don't do that, because somewhere along the line, their brother is getting it, or whatever reason that they have for allowing this to happen. They are supposed to ask for, before money lands into that organization's account, we should know where the money is going to. And whenever money is sent to anybody, we should all be aware, so that even the fraud agency will be checking their mobile app to be checking where the money is going. Because it's supposed to be transparent money. They are building bridges, they are building seaports, they are building hospitals. Why is that hidden? Because it is hidden, you can bribe people. And people will hate it because they don't know where their money is going to. Even if it is legitimate, they don't care. This madness needs to end in Nigeria. There has to be a level of transparency that needs to take place in the system. And I believe that one of the biggest arguments they can make for the next election is to demand 100% transparency on everything other than security. On everything other than security. Every money that is going to any government account, people should know about it, so that they are not able to take the money and run away anywhere.
Yeah, Baba, see, your points are very clear. But see, I live in UK, okay? I'm against, I don't like it. I'm not comfortable with it, believe me. All right. So there are one other aspect that we are not looking at, because if you look at the gate man, the house girl, the drivers, and all that in Nigeria, nobody's paying their pension. Nobody's looking at that direction at all. Anytime they get out of job, they have to start all over again. You know what I mean? So nobody is looking, okay, if you're having a house girl, because Nigeria want to live big, the 26 years old girl want to have a house girl, she can't cook, and they want to come to UK to study. That's why they are struggling a lot here. They are regretting this generation that is coming to the UK now. Someone came about 4 or 5 days ago. He said, no, it's very boring. I said, boring? Are you sure? You have to grind on, So Nigeria needs so many fix, and Nigeria is a very nice place. You understand? I refuse to see the bad side. For me, I don't want to see the bad side. I love development, things that are going on, the Lekki seaport, the massive, project that is going on in Nigeria. But where I have issue is this: transparency is good, but we should put our money where our mouth is. If the money are well involved, in the system, like how they do it in Italy, people that, on the 25th or on the so time, people that get their money weekly, you are not going to pay them. You are giving the white people an excuse to come together to make noise. So once people, believe me, Buhari is the first social media president that is coming. The next guy that is coming, believe me or not, is going to face big time problem. They're going to strip his skin out of his body. But yeah, many people don't question, because people are now vast. I'm telling you, classified information are in everybody's fingertip. Formerly, I'm an Italian, okay? I moved to UK like about 4 years ago. So you find out that before, people don't really ask questions. We don't show things. Now people could just take their phone on TikTok. It shows you everything immediately. You find out, which area, where do you stay, where do you stay? They Google your address. They find out who you are now. You can't lie again. You can't tell them I'm using SUV while you are using, so people find out everything about you. So Nigerian government that are coming to the UK, you find out that the COVID-19 really exposed a whole lot of them. They find out that, oh, this one is not our country. So look at the Ukraine war and everybody is clamoring. If it happens now, how are we going to escape? Okay, lucky you are now in Nigeria. If anything happens tonight, you have escaped it. You are not going to complain about food again. So, God have just saved me. We will be planning to run to Nigeria. So Nigeria is a very beautiful place that we have. It's a very massive place. As one person can still run it, but we just need honest people. Okay, look at the people that want to check your back because of Buhari's system of government, because people are not used to Buhari style. We are used to, now you went to Nigeria, you're going to have a contract. I know you, I'm going to talk about it. People are going to take that point. This guy don't have a big contract, Buhari's trying. No, Buhari doesn't do that. He doesn't go to your party. He doesn't eat rice. He doesn't bring himself so low. He's a classic guy. Though you look at some products are inelastic, but we still have to buy it, even here in the UK. So why people complain in Nigeria? At the end of the day, they'll bring £20,000. As I'm sitting here, if you give me £20,000, I don't believe I'll be going back to UK. I will know what I will do with that money in Nigeria. But people will use it to pay Boris Johnson. You will take that money, tell you that you want to do your master. When you finish, you're not going to use that masters to apply for any job in the UK. You become a security, and you start complaining again. You start afraid.
You see what I experienced the other day? I was looking at, I was one of those people that I watch YouTube videos. I'm sure Diners has seen it. When you go on the streets in Nigeria, you see a lot of rubbish everywhere, dirt all over the place.
That's all over Africa, bro. Like that annoys the hell out of me.
But when I see it in Nigeria, it seems like the Nigerian one has a kind of chip on his shoulder. The rubbish there, it's like it's got a different level. And recently, anyway, I've been seeing too many videos that I was like, okay, is Nigeria special in terms of rubbish here? But I was thinking that until I saw this other video about, because I always felt that Nigerian architecture, the way they do it, is not like that refined as some other countries. And, but when I saw, some stuff recently, I was like, this guy had a piano in the living area that is £100,000. The finishing, the money that is in that country, and that people People are burning money all over the place for just luxury. The money they spend for luxury. This is where all our money is going to. We generate $5 trillion a year, and we wonder why. When I saw that amount, I was like, what? We are generating $5 trillion. What are we doing with it? Can you imagine that you have this type of your economy or your house, your family is generating this type of money, and you can't do anything with it? Even if it's just 10% of that, you use that to invest in something every single year. Do you know how much in stuff you're going to see in Nigeria right now? Even to sweep the streets, they don't sweep it as well. Okay, if you say it's many African countries, so what? Who cares? We should do it better than we. Why are our streets so messed up? Why can't we just organize people to sweep the streets, make it clean? It doesn't cost that much money. Simple things that we are supposed to be doing, we don't even do. Those type of things drive me a little bit crazy. But I used to think that Nigeria was a little bit special in terms of dirt. But I also know that they are also very good in terms of this in the luxury too. They have very, very good taste in there. The only thing is just organization. I actually think the problem of our people is not as great as we think. It's just that somehow we have not realized it. We don't know that we have the tools at our disposal. You know, one of the examples I give about this is that many African countries, you know how they ran to Russia to, for conference with Russia. Hopefully they will get their nuclear power station built. I always say that, but when these people first build their first nuclear bomb, the technology they had at their disposal then, all African countries have those technologies now. That was 1945. We have all that. So what is stopping us? So it tells you that it's just our mindset. We need to change our mindset, and we need to start finding a way to bridge the gap between us and our government. I think they've conditioned us to be separate from our government. I've had a UK guy here tell me in the UK here that, when we're talking about China and UK trade and all the rest, he says, I would rather, because we're talking about how the Chinese people, manipulate companies. And he said, I would rather my government screw me over than a foreign government screw them over. Because he understands that at the minimum, he still has to be loyal to his own. And that's what we as Africans need to learn. And as Black people need to learn that nobody will, be on your side if you are not even on your own side. It's crazy.
Hey, Nigel, we're going to go ahead and close out. So, Emmanuel, anything else you'd like to share in closing?
Yeah, my last, let me close with this. I would say there are so many clean cities in Nigeria, like Akwa Ibom, Port Harcourt,
But that has gone down the drain, though. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. You've not seen the recent spot. And there is one other place in Ebonyi State. Yeah, that is David Umahi. I follow these guys, very closely. These guys blow my mind. What they've done are impeccable. So, yeah, Nigeria is going to come up a very good place. I've seen it. Another 5 years, people are going to change their narrative. So, I'll land with that, and I will say thanks for having me, Dennis. And to Nigeria, thanks a lot. I've been hearing from you. It's nice sharing the same podium with you, brother.
Yeah, I am very, very privileged to hear from you too, because we don't hear people like your voice often. And I think because all you hear are the ones that are talking about, let's tear the country up, let's tear our land up, let's run away, let's hit. If somebody actually said they want to take their pregnant wife to a war, come on, people. We need to be hearing from people like you a bit more. Thank you.
Yeah,
thanks.
You, Diners. Okay, bye.
Bye.
For sure. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, share the content share this content as well. I appreciate it. Again, also tour Sierra Leone. We are rolling April 17th to the 30th. So come and join us. We have one more spot left. Only one more spot left. Until next time, family, Diners, and search for Huru. Peace.